Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is AJ. Merry Christmas in arrears and Happy New Year in advance. So join me, let's glam up this beautiful model together. So first thing first, I start by cleaning her face using my Avour Micellar cleansing water to make sure every dirt is removed underneath her skin. Right, you don't want to build your makeup on dirt, so we have to make sure we thoroughly clean the face to remove every dirt. Moving on, I use my fan to dry the face before going in with my moisturizer, which I use my Snails moisturizer. Yeah, moisturizer adds hydration to your skin, right? So after applying my moisturizer for every face prep product, I use my fan. After every product, make sure I use my fan to dry it up. As I'm drying it up, I just use my hand to press it into her skin. So moving on, I'm going in with my grip primer. Yeah, so I wanted her makeup to last. This Memetic aqua grip primer. Yeah, if you want your makeup to last longer, that's what I used. And I just applied all over her face except the under eye. The under eye is a very sensitive area. So what you do is, when doing your face prep, you can use a general quantity of moisturizer, right? For the under eye. So after priming her face, this grip primer actually sticks to the face, so we have to wait for it to dry or use your fan to dry it up. Then I went in now with my V-Beauty Matifying primer. I just applied around the area which produces oil. Sorry, light went off. That's Africa for us. So moving on to foundation, I use my V-Beauty foundation and my new Avour foundation. So I just mix everything to make sure I get her exact skin tone. So at this point, as you can see, the light is looking a bit dim because I'm using the City Photo P100 light. So I use the battery of the light. It was charged, so I just connected the battery. So throughout this makeup, I did the makeup without light. So I just blend in my foundation, making sure that everything is even in place and uniformly distributed, matching her neck to the rest of her body. Yeah, so I'm using my soft and damp beauty sponge from, is it Alabama? I don't know the name, Ala something. So I just press in. That means you make a beauty sponge wet. When you compress it or squeeze it, water shouldn't come out from it. That's what I mean by damp, right? So let's keep blending the foundation. Blend to make sure there is no demarcation, no harsh line, no crack, and everything is in place. Yeah. So moving on to contour, I'm using my V-Beauty foundation again. The darker shade is 2 shades darker than her skin tone. So we are contouring underneath the cheekbone, the temple, and the side of the nose. Yeah, we want that face we want to give that face more definition, right? We want to scrub everything out. So for blush, I'm going in with this mixture of orange and red shade from my 3D Girl blush palette. So moving on to concealer, I'm using my Avour concealer. So I just apply around the highlighted area, that is the under eye, the bridge of the nose, the chin, and the forehead. Then after that, after applying it, I'm going in with the clean section. So when doing your makeup, you have one beauty sponge. Make sure once you're using one section for foundation, contour, and blush, just one section. That's starting with foundation, contour, and blush. Then the next clean section of that same beauty sponge, you use it for concealer. Avoid interchanging the sections, right? Don't go and use the one that you're using, the section that you're using, blending the blush and blending the concealer. If not, they're just going to mix in colors. So that's what I do basically. So I just blend in my concealer, starting from the outer corner of the eye, moving towards the inner corner. Then I blended that on the nose. I forgot to do my nose contour as always. So I just blend in. Then to set everything, I'm using my Kiss Beauty setting spray. So moving on to setting the highlighted area, I first of all blended the under eye again to make sure there is no crease formation. Then I go in with my Merak setting powder in the shade ginger. Yeah, so I'm using one layer of the setting powder to just pat gently around the under eye. So when setting, use one layer. That is, when you pick up the setting powder with your aid of, you can use a powder puff, a dry powder puff, or a dry beauty sponge, or even a damp. So I'm using the same beauty sponge which I used in blending the highlighter. That's a concealer, right? I'm using that section. So can you see when I pick up the setting powder with my beauty sponge, I just dust off the excess setting powder on the beauty sponge, right? So to make the under eye brighter, I'm going in with my powder from my beauty powder palette. So to set the rest of her face, I'm using my powder from my beauty powder palette, which is if you look at the shades, you just try to like match the one which goes with your skin tone. So I'm using that which goes with the skin tone to make sure everything is in place here. So I'm setting all the rest of the face. That is the area which has not been highlighted. That's the blush area, the blank spaces, the contour area. So moving on to contour, we said in makeup everything cream has to go dry. So I'm going in with my dark shade of powder from my VBT powder palette. So I just applied around all the area which I previously contoured. That is the bridge of the nose. No, I didn't contour the bridge of the nose because I forgot, but you have to do so. But nevertheless, whether you forget to do the cream contour, make sure you do the powder contour. All of it still you see end up having the same result. Yeah. So after contouring the nose, I just blend in everything. Then I set the face using my Kiss Beauty setting spray. We want to melt down the powder effect, right? So moving on to brows, I started by laying down the hair using my brows steamer or brows gel from Naked Signature. So after that, I just left it there. Then I went in with baking, which I'm using my Merak setting powder again in the shade Ginger. I make sure when I bake, I just make sure I leave a general quantity of the setting powder around the under eye, such that the moisture around the under eye can be absorbed. The excess eyeshadow fallout can be easily taken out. Yeah, that's the reason. So for his voice contour, I'm still using the same shade of setting powder. That's the Merak setting powder. Yeah. So moving on to eyeshadow. See, I just recently started doing my eyeshadow before my brows because with this method it reduces the quantity of concealer you use in concealing the brows, and also reduces the time, right? So after blending my concealer thoroughly, I go with this pink shade from my Naked Beauty eyeshadow palette. Can you see? Yeah, I just place starting from the inner corner of the eye. Sorry. Starting from the inner corner of the eye, but I don't go right towards the end. I just end halfway. Then I went in with this other, like, orange shade. It's kind of like orange, I don't know, orange shade. I blend from the outer corner of the eye, moving again towards the inner corner. Sorry, guys. Battery went low. Yeah. Okay. So after blending that, I now went in with this dark shade. But now for this dark shade, I'm not spreading it all over the eye, right? Just around that bottom area. I don't cross and go right up, right? I don't know how I can really explain it for you to understand. Yeah, just blend. Just like that. Just the excess on the brush, just blend and move slightly towards the inner corner of the eye. Yeah, that's that. So to line the eye, I'm using my black brows pomade from KR Makeup with the aid of my Isa and Those angle brush. I just start from the outer corner of the eye, trying to form something like a triangle, then link it up. Then as I'm approaching the inner corner, the line is becoming thinner and thinner and thinner. Yeah, that's it. So guys, what do you think about this look? If you have any question, let me know at the comment section below. Yeah, so moving on, when I was done with that, I went in now with my blush from my exclusive blush palette. I'm using the orange shade from my exclusive blush palette. So for brows, remember I laid down the hair before going with the eyeshadow. Then before doing so again, I just placed my setting powder, my Merak setting powder, on the area which I laid in my brows gel to make sure all the moisture is absorbed. So for the brows, she said she wanted her brows to look a little bit darker. So I mixed 50% of dark and brown shade to form a dark brown shade, right? So to produce the outline, can you see after producing my outline for one section, I just went in with the other section to produce the outline. And she said she doesn't want her brows to look too big or too small. She just wanted to be in between, yeah. So after outlining the brows, I used the excess brows gel on the angle brush to just fill in the brows starting from the outer corner of the eye and ending around half midway. So for the beginning of the brows, I just used my David's pencil in the shade 003 to produce tiny hair-like strokes starting from the beginning of the brows, right? We want everything to look so natural. Yeah. Now moving on to concealer, I'm using my Nuban Beauty concealer and my Issa and those flat angle brush to just conceal. Can you see how I minimize the concealer, contour of concealer use? So after concealing like that, I don't start right from the beginning. So I'm using the shade which is 2 shade lighter. I don't start right from the beginning. Can you see I just struggle to just blend around that area. With this method, I actually like it more unlike the other method where you have to draw the brows before doing your eyeshadow. Yeah, so for the upper section, I'm using a concealer which is 1 shade darker than her skin tone because we don't want any harsh line around the upper section of the brows, right? Yeah, that's it. That's why you use a shade which is like 1 shade darker than your skin tone. Then after that, I just blend in everything. Then I apply powder on it. Remember, for makeup, everything cream has to go dry. I apply powder on it to make sure we don't have any moisture around that area, and we don't want the brows to be looking messy, right? Yeah. So my client doesn't want lashes. She just told me only when I already did the eyeshadow. So she says she doesn't want eyelashes. So I'm just going to brush her lashes, her natural lashes with mascara to make it a little bit longer. So for the lips, I'm using my brown brows pomade from KR Makeup to outline her lips. After that, I just blend everything, blend the outline to such that there'll be no harsh line, right? I do same for the bottom section. I just outline, then I use my brush to blending everything. So for the main lip color, I'm going in with this pink shade from my Avour cosmetic lip palette lip gloss. So after that, I just blend. When blending the main color and the brown shade, I place my brush on the line separating the two color, that's the dark and the brown and the pink, such that there will be no demarcation. There will be no demarcation between the two colors, right? So I just blend. Can you see how I'm blending? Yeah, that is exactly how I should do. So for the waterline, I'm going in again with that same brows and brows for me, the black from KR Makeup. So I just use my powder puff to pull her eyes downward. Then I ask her to look towards the ceiling before outlining the waterline. Yeah. So I'm using my Issa and those angle brush again. So when doing this thing, you have to make sure you are very fast, so such that it doesn't irritate the client. Okay, you have to be very fast with it, and also take breaks. Don't like start and finish before. Like take break like twice for the client to relax the eyes. You understand, when lining the waterline. So I use my fan brush to dust up the excess eyeshadow fallout around the under eye. Then I go in with pressing in the excess setting powder around the other eye using my angle brush, fluffy angle brush. Then I use my Kiss Beauty setting spray to just smell down the powder effect. See, I always cover the eyeshadow section because we don't want the setting spray to go on it, because we don't want the eyeshadow to start breaking, right? So at this point, I'm just brushing my. She says she doesn't want natural. She doesn't want false lashes. So I'm just using mascara to brush her lashes and natural lashes to make them a little bit longer, right? So can you see? So moving on, for lips, I'm going to be going in with my clear lip gloss from Adventure Makeup. So I just applied. I wanted that lips to have some like glow or to be hydrated, looking moist. So I just went in with this clear lip gloss from Adventure. Yeah. So I just applied all over and making sure I don't like soil her lips. I have to, when you're doing so, you have to be careful with it, right? Yeah. So guys, I'm so sorry that I've not been able to post any video for over a week now. I traveled to the village to see my parents. So for highlighter, I'm using my Blossom Makeup highlighter palette to just like give some glow around the cheek, right? So guys, this is what we have. I use my fan brush now to just blend in the highlighter. So to see I'm finalizing makeup, I'm using my all-nighter lock-in spray, fix spray, right, to just seal and lock in the makeup. So when doing so, you know this thing is alcoholic, so always ask your client to hold her breath for some few seconds. So guys, this is a finished look. What do you think about the look? Thank you so super much. Before saying thanks, I just brush the lower lashes again, the bottom lashes with the mascara. Yeah. Can you see the change? So this is a finished look. What do you think about the look? Thank you all so much, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification, comment, like and share. Bye guys.